Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Hello, hello. Can you all hear me? Please let me know. Welcome to another Sunday night live stream. Just going to take 1 second to make sure that you can all hear me. Lena, always on top of that. The sound is good. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody, to another Sunday night live stream. Today is Sunday, June 2nd. It's June. Where did the time go? How are we already halfway through the year? Summer's coming. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. It's great to see everyone in here in chat. And even just to start things off, Cynthia Wilson with a $5 super sticker. Cynthia, I don't know what that super sticker looks like, but I will take a look at that later. But thank you so much for the support. Thank you for an early donation. Thank you for the generous support. I appreciate you, Cynthia. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone, hello. It's very sunny behind me. I'm sorry, I can't really adjust where all of the sun is coming from. And actually, oops, sorry about that. I forgot to post my live stream happening on Instagram. So you're going to have to bear with me and give me 1 second as I try to get this posted on Instagram so people know that I am live streaming right now. So please give me 1 second. I did forget that. It's been I had to coach earlier today, and after coaching, I fell asleep and I took a nap. And you ever get that when you wake up after a nap and you just feel so groggy? that's kind of how I feel right now. And actually, I can't hear properly out of my ears. And I'm like, am I getting sick? Which is a little scary because I don't want to get sick, but we'll see what happens. Sorry, I'm trying to post myself right now on Instagram so people know to watch me. 1 second. Okay, I'm posted. I'm uploaded. Welcome everyone to a Sunday night live stream. How are you doing tonight? It's nice to see everyone here. Thank you for popping in chat. Thank you for just being here. But I also want to remind you that chat right now is a safe space for everyone. Please respect everyone that's in here. We are all trying to do the same thing, which is trying to be happy and healthy. So I want you to understand that as you're sharing your story, this isn't just about how long you're fasting for, how much weight you've lost, but this is for your ups and downs. This is an accountability check. This is to ask you how you're doing on your journey. Are you able to keep going? I mean, you're here, you're showing up. That's already a big step. So I love to see people in here chiming in and sharing how they're doing, what's going on, and how we can all encourage and motivate and inspire each other. Sharky with a $5 super chat. Sharky, thank you so much for the donation. Sharky asks, did you have any loose skin after your weight loss? This is a question, Sharky, that I get all the time. I see it in the comments all day, every day. Yes, do I have loose skin after my weight loss? Yes, I do. I mean, quickly right here, I have loose skin right here. If you can see it right here on my neck. I have loose skin on my upper arms as I like here at the very top, but most of my loose skin is on my lower stomach. It's on my upper inner thighs. I feel like there's loose skin not only on my lower stomach, but kind of like where my back is, right? So yes, I have loose skin. Was I able to improve it afterwards? It's only been 2.5 months since I've lost all the weight. I haven't stopped lifting. I've been lifting since the very beginning. So it's something that I'm continuing to work on. But I want people to remember that I have been 100 plus pounds overweight and I've lost 100 pounds and then I gained it all back. And even before all of that, I lost weight before. I lost 40 pounds, 50 pounds, gained it back, lost it, gained it back. I'm 43 years old. I also don't have the same elasticity when it comes to my youth, right? So loose skin is a thing for me. I see people in the comments sometimes talk about loose skin and then they say something like, well, I'm afraid of losing weight because of the loose skin. Really? If loose skin is the biggest of your concerns versus being overweight or being obese, or someone like me who is a type 2 diabetic with high blood pressure, who is always fatigued, who couldn't climb a flight of stairs without being out of breath, who had to have the AC cranked down all day, every day because I was so hot and sweaty and I couldn't control my temperature. I couldn't sleep because I was waking up every 2 hours to go pee. Amongst a ton of other side effects of being overweight, obese versus loose skin, I pick loose skin all day, every day. And this isn't a knock on you, Sharky. This is just me sharing my personal thoughts when it comes to that. But yeah, I have loose skin. I have it right now. It is something that I think about. I'm a little self-conscious about the skin here, especially. But other than that, I don't really think about it as much. Sharky, though, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Mark with a $10 super chat. Mark, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. It's nice to see you. I just talked to Mark earlier today because like he just said, LFG coach. He's locked in for the month of June. Mark and I had a really great coaching session, I believe, earlier today. And I think we put down a pretty good plan moving forward for the month of June. So Mark has we've been working together for some time now, and it's great to see some progress, good progress, and go through the ups and downs. And I want people to remember that when it comes to your weight loss journey, your fasting journey, it doesn't always just mean that it's what the scale says. It doesn't always mean it's how long you can fast for. It's also about, where are you right here? How is that going? Because if you can't fix this right here, fix the issues when it comes to emotional eating, fix the issues of an all or nothing mentality, it's going to be a very, very difficult ride for you. You can ask me, because I know from experience. Anyway, Mark, thank you for the $10 donation. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. When it comes to fasting, today's topic is about the flexibility of fasting, and how, for any of us, we should have no excuses when it comes to fasting. We should have no excuses when it comes to performing a fast, because we all already fast. All of us, we all fast, whether you think so or not. When you go to sleep, unless you're somebody who never sleeps and who is constantly eating all day, every day, we all fast in some form or fashion. It's just a matter of how long you're fasting for. But I'm going to talk about that a little later in this stream, because first, I want to welcome everyone to day 210 of my fasting journey, my health and wellness journey. 210 days. That is 30 weeks. 30 weeks of consistency, of accountability, of showing up. When it comes to me doing this for 30 weeks, I have one question for you. For you, I'm talking to you. My question is, it's Sunday here. It might be Monday elsewhere. But my question to you is, are you sitting here saying, I'm waiting till Monday? My question to you is, are you procrastinating? Are you waiting till Monday to start your fasting journey? Are you waiting till Monday to say, Monday is the day that I change my life? If that's you, and it isn't the first time you've said that to yourself before, let's have a real heart-to-heart conversation about why you should stop doing that. Why you should stop saying, I'm just going to wait till Monday. I'm going to wait till the weekend ends. I'm going to wait till the first of the month. Well, you know what? It's June 2nd. Did you do that too? Did you say June 1st, I'm going to start? Did you say that? If you are that person who is using a Monday to start, who is using the first of a month to start, who is using their birthday that's coming next week to start, who's using, hey, I'm going on vacation, I'm going on a trip, so after that trip ends, when I come back, that's when I'm going to start. If that's you, reality check. Life doesn't start on the first, on a Monday, doesn't start after a special event or a vacation. Your life is right now. And I'm not just talking about your life, I'm talking about your health. Your health is really what I'm getting down to. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy a good weekend. It doesn't mean that you can't enjoy your vacation. But what it does mean is you should be at least mindful about what's going on. That you shouldn't just throw the day away when it comes to your health and happiness journey. That your life is right now. It's not stopping for anyone. If you're like me, who's a type 2 diabetic, who says, I'm going to wait till Monday, do you know how detrimental that is to your health? Letting your blood sugars just go crazy, not taking care of the things that you need to take care of physically, but also how that really messes up with your mentality. Because you're doing something cyclical. You're saying this over and over and over, thinking that it's going to change eventually. But does it? Has it? And I know I might sound harsh when I'm talking about this, but I say that because I am that person. I have always told myself, wait till Monday, wait till midnight, wait till the first, wait till after my birthday passes, wait till after this vacation ends. It is I'm going to say it. It's crazy talk. It's nonsense to talk like that. If it's the first time you've ever said something like that, sure, I get it. But when you say this over and over to yourself, I have been doing this for 30 weeks now. How many times have you come in here on a Sunday and said, I'm going to start Monday? Every week? Every Sunday that you come see me? Well, first of all, I want to give you credit if you keep trying to show up here every Sunday and tell yourself you are trying to get things going. But you know what I'm talking about. If this is the kind of behavior you're performing, you really need to think about how you need to stop that behavior and how to start embracing imperfect consistency, that it doesn't have to be perfect. Your fasting doesn't have to be perfect. Your eating doesn't have to be perfect. Your exercise doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. You have to find some consistency in what you're doing. And if you can start accepting that, I can promise you, you will find success during your fasting journey when it comes to weight loss. This is why I want to talk about the flexibility of fasting today, but I will get into that in a bit. Abdi with a $5 super chat. Abdi, it's always nice to see you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for showing up in the comments and sharing your journey. For people who don't know, I go through all the comments. I know I don't want to say I memorize everyone that's in here, but I am very familiar with a lot of the people who keep showing up consistently. Abdi says, good to see you, Coach Jerome. Nice to see you too, Abdi. How was your all-day refeed yesterday? It was great. And I am going to make a separate video about that. For those that don't know, yesterday I took a day off. It was kind of a first for me in 210 days. I did take a 10-day vacation, but that vacation was a little different than what I did yesterday, which meant I took a complete day off. I didn't go for a walk. I didn't lift weights. I didn't work. I didn't do any coaching. I just took the day off and it was great. And I loved it. And I learned a lot about that. And I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But it was good. So I appreciate you asking, Abdi. Thank you for the weekly motivation. You're very welcome. I'm glad that I can be a motivation to some of you, if not all of you who watch this. It keeps me energized and inspired. Well, I'm glad that it does. And I'm glad that you kept showing up for the May fasting challenge. For those that don't know, I did hold a challenge for the month of May. And I said, for the month of May, I'm going to do 65-hour fasts back to 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 back. 10 65-hour fasts in a row, and I did it. I did accomplish that, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But Abdi, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Mark, DMMMX1 with a $10 super chat. Mark, thank you for the generous donation. It is great to see you, Mark. Mark, I have seen you in the comments as well, kind of just sharing where you've been and where you're at. And so I appreciate you showing up. Week 15, here is Mark showing accountability, right? Sharing his story. Mark is 15 weeks in. He's 118 hours fasted, 0.8 pounds lost, a total. Mark has now lost 52 plus pounds. Mark's lost 52 pounds. Actually, as Mark has been sharing his story with me and with everyone else throughout his journey, Mark, it looks like from what I've seen, is going through a lot of imperfect consistency. Mark has had ups and downs. Mark has gone on vacation. He's shared his story. He's talked about how some days have been going really well and some days haven't been the best, but it hasn't stopped him from what he's doing. Here's the thing too, is that kind of imperfect consistency is how you start to learn about yourself, how you start to build your fasting muscle, how you start building fasting experience. So when people are giving themselves these, hey, I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to start on the 1st. And then all of a sudden they don't show up and they're gone for a week. They're gone for a month. That type of behavior is where you don't learn from your mistakes. When you walk away from something and you don't try again, you're missing out on what you could have learned from just being consistent. I also don't want to frame this in a way where I say that if you walk away or you're gone for a week, that it makes you a bad person, because it doesn't. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm trying to do is make you understand that if you can get back on the horse, if you can turn whatever slippery slope, whatever hole you're falling into now, if you can turn that around and if you can minimize that from happening. So, for example, if this is something that you do on a regular basis where you slip, you fall in a hole, you're gone for a week, you're gone for 2 weeks, if you can start lessening that. If you're gone for a month and then all of a sudden now you're only gone for 2 weeks, you're only gone for a couple days, you're able to get back on the horse and start again. That's progress. That's a win. That's victory. These are accomplishments you should be proud of. And knowing that it's probably going to happen again, and maybe some days are going to be worse than others. But if you can constantly remind yourself that it's okay to fall, that it's okay to stumble, that it's okay to make mistakes and learn from them, you will find success doing this. Because if you can have more good days than bad days, wouldn't you rather have that than just thinking you're going to have it perfect for weeks on end, for months on end? There are people that can sit here and say, but Jerome, you've done it. You've done it. Yes, I have gotten to my goal weight, but it doesn't mean that it's been perfect along the way. It doesn't mean that I've fasted in the perfect way I've wanted to every single time, refed the perfect way I've wanted to every single time. I have learned from that imperfect consistency. And I'm sharing that so you understand that you can apply this type of fasting regimen. You can be flexible with your fasting, that you can find some success. Mark, thank you so much for sharing your journey. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your donation. Thank you for sharing your story. I love that for you. 118 hours fasted. Let's go. Keep going. Thank you again. Thank you for the support. Did I miss? Oh, there's a couple other ones in here too. Val with a $5 donation. Val's always messing with me. Val said this last week. I'm going to start Sunday at 11:59 p.m. This is Val saying I'm not going to start Monday. I'm going to start 1 minute. Val, thank you for the donation. Thank you for the support. Stop being a smart ass. I'm just kidding. Val, it's nice to see you as always. Mark with another $10 donation. Mark, thank you again for another $10 donation. Mark says, after vacation, look at this. And this is perfect. This is Mark showing that he's showing up. Mark says, after vacation, I was up 19.3 pounds. Imagine that. 19.3 pounds after vacation. That's like me when I did my 10-day vacation where I gained 21 pounds. And I shared that story. That can be very discouraging for a lot of people. For someone that might gain 20 pounds after vacation, I can imagine that some people might step on the scale and tell themselves or say to themselves, well, what's the point of doing this? Why would I do this if this is what's going to happen? Well, I gained 21 pounds and then I lost it just doing 65-hour fasts, But you have to remember, I've been doing 90-hour fasts. I was able to fast less and still get back down to my goal weight. Mark says, in less than 24 hours, he lost 10 pounds. Look at that. That's like me when I lost 10 pounds in 48 hours. Mark is showing that it's the exact same thing here, that you're not gaining 20 pounds of fat after going on vacation, and you're also not losing 10 pounds of fat in a day. It's just the number on the scale. There's a lot of water retention that comes with it. Every 3 hours after, I lost 1 to 2 pounds until I had 2 pounds left. Took 3 days to lose them on top of the 0.8. It just goes to show that if you keep showing up, if you can be consistent in what you're doing, if you trust the process, you are going to find success when it comes to your fasting journey, your weight loss journey. I want you to look at these examples and understand that it can be done. And the thing I'm noticing when I'm going through the comments is people are finding success. People are sharing their story. People are saying, Jerome, I lost this much. seeing you talk about imperfect consistency is helpful because I've never realized that I can just do it this way. If you can start accepting that and you can start implementing that, you are going to find success in this. Mark, thank you again for the $10 donation. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, how am I supposed to do the stream with all these donations now? I appreciate it. Mike, hi, Mike, with a $5 super chat. Mike, thank you for the generous donation. Thank you for the support. It's nice to see you again here, Mike. Mike says, Jerome, checking in. I'm 2 days into my second consecutive 90-hour. Mike, I love to hear that. Mike and I have been working together too, and it's great to see Mike finding success here as well. He's 2 days into his second consecutive 90-hour. That's great. Mike says, I was up 2 pounds after my refeed on Thursday, but already back down a pound. Let's go. This is what I'm talking about. People get very scared to step on the scale after a refeed because they're worried that the weight on the scale after a refeed is going to be life-threatening, going to be detrimental. But you know what? Gaining weight after a refeed is normal. It is normal. You are going to gain weight after a refeed, especially if you eat the way I do. I eat 6,000 plus calories on a refeed. I'll gain 5 pounds. The last couple refeeds, I gained 7 pounds. I think on my, not this past refeed, but the one prior, I was 140 pounds, and then I was 147 pounds. 147 after a refeed. After a 4-hour refeed, I gained 7 pounds. But you know what? After another 65-hour fast, I lost it all again. Once you understand that these are just data references that you can learn from what the weight looks like after gaining and losing and gaining and losing, you won't be so scared of looking at that scale. You'll start to understand the more you do it, the more you log your numbers, the more you hit the timer, you're going to understand, oh, if I fast for this long, the weight's going to start coming off, which it's mostly water retention after a refeed. You're going to start realizing, oh, when I refeed, I usually gain this much. But you know what? I know that I'm going to start losing after some time. Mike, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for showing vulnerability here and showing accountability and showing up. I look forward to our next session. Mike, thank you again for the support. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Did I miss anything else or can I continue? Let me go ahead and continue here. So when it comes to starting on Monday, here at Finally Fasting, we don't wait till Monday. You need to stop day oneing everything. Stop telling yourself today is going to be the day. Tomorrow is going to be the day. The first is going to be the day. That behavior needs to stop. It really does. That is not how you figure out this journey. You need to learn from your mistakes. You need to start now. You need to start now instead of waiting till Monday. Why would you put yourself in this position when you can already start sooner rather than later? You're going to have to excuse me. I need to change the lighting on. Oh, okay. I already fixed it. Okay. It was just like wavy in the back and it was annoying me. And so we're good now. I want all of us to start embracing imperfect consistency. When I talk about imperfect consistency, I am talking about the practice of doing something on a consistent basis rather than hoping that you can just do these things perfectly. If you're that person that says, I'm going to start Monday, I'm going to start Monday, I'm going to start on the 1st, I'm going to start after my birthday, I'm going to start after this vacation, I'm going to stop, or I'm going to start after this work trip, I'm talking to you. I'm trying to let you realize that you don't have to wait, that you can start now. It doesn't mean that you have to fast on your weekend, that you decided to go grab drinks or celebrate a birthday party. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is be mindful. All I'm saying is hit the timer. The least you can do is hit the timer. that might change your mindset. Instead of saying, I'm going to wait till Monday, I'm going to wait till Monday, I'm going to wait till Monday, because you know what? In the future, you're going to do this again. Another work event is going to come up. Another celebration is going to come up. Another Sunday is going to come up. And instead of saying, I'm going to wait till Monday, you can do something different. You can be mindful about the practice of what you're doing. You can practice imperfect consistency. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. Say it with me. Say it with me. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. It doesn't have to be perfect. God damn it. It just has to be consistent. I am going to drill this into all of you until you understand that life will never be perfect. You will never get this to be perfect. Never. It is never going to be perfect. Never going to be perfect. I'm telling you. You need to get your head out of that thinking. There are so many of us that say to ourselves, I am going to fast for this long. And then after fasting for this long, I'm going to drink this much water, and I'm going to exercise for this much. And I'm going to make sure I do this and I do that and I do this. And before you know it, it stacks so high that the moment you're a day or 2 days into it, you're going to be like, fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore. This is too hard. And maybe that's not what you tell yourself, but maybe that is what's subconsciously happening in your head. Is in your head, you're like, this is too much. This is too daunting. This is too mentally taxing on me. I don't want to do this anymore. But instead, you could practice imperfect consistency. If you tell yourself you're going to do a 72-hour fast, you get 33 hours into it, and you say that's enough, you go ahead and you refeed. You break your fast, you hit the timer, you have your refeed. Maybe you're a little more mindful about it because you know that you didn't do the 72 hours you wanted to. You hit the timer and you go again and you try for another 72. Oh, but Jerome, the weekend's already here. So what? So go enjoy the weekend. You can't hit the timer? Yeah, but Jerome, I'm going to be probably refeeding for 13 hours. So what? You can't hit the timer? Yeah, but Jerome, I'm going to be... Do you see what I'm saying? You're making excuses for yourself. I'm not telling you have to fast for a certain amount of time. I'm not saying you have to eat the cleanest. I'm just saying hit the timer. Log the data. It's the least you can do. For people that I work with, for people that I coach, that's all I ask for is, when someone tells me they have something coming up or they have to do this or they have to do that, okay, live your life, right? Because I want everyone to live their lives, just like I'm trying to live my life. Go live your life. All I'm asking is hit the timer, log the data into the spreadsheet I gave you, and then let's talk about it. Let's look at what the numbers look like. You know I work off of numbers. You know I'm nerdy about the stats, that I love to see what those numbers look like, because that is how we start looking at trends and figuring out how can we make this journey work for you. Andre, with a $10 super chat. Andre, thank you for the generous donation. It is nice to see you here as always, Andre. Andre says, J-Man, May challenge is over, and I was more wobbly than I thought I would be because of the accountability. But at 238.8 pounds, I have learned a lot. Andre, I am glad that you have gotten on this challenge. I'm glad that you are sharing your story, that you are not only sharing your story, but sharing your stats here and saying, it wasn't the easiest. It probably didn't go the way that maybe you initially had planned, but you stuck through it and you did it. And maybe even though you had ups and downs, you're here for it. You're showing up. I love that for you. I do. And I say that, and I mean that for anybody who attempts this, who goes through this journey and shows up again, who shows up here on these live streams, who shows up in chat, who shows up on the comments, in the comments, who shares where they're at on their journey. I love that for you, because you know what? You're showing accountability. You're saying, I'm not just going to walk away from this. I'm not going to be Jerome in 2021, where he just left all of us on YouTube and was gone for 2+ years because he was too embarrassed and too ashamed. I'm proud of you. For a lot of you who might mess up, who might walk away from this for a week, but they eventually come back, I'm proud of you, because at least it's not 2+ years. I walked away from this for 2+ years because I was so embarrassed. I was so ashamed. I thought I was never going to come back. I thought I was never going to do this again. I thought this was never going to be achievable again. And then when I did come back eventually and I started doing it and doing it again and practicing imperfect consistency, then I started to realize, oh, this makes sense. Oh, this is working. Oh, this isn't working. Oh, I can do this instead. Oh shit, I'm learning about myself. And then here I am now, 210 days later, with so much more knowledge than I've had before because I've learned from my mistakes. Andre, thank you so much for the $10 donation. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. Thank you all of you. Thank you. Whether you donate or not, just you being here in the chat is very meaningful for me. For you to show up here, for you to know that you want to change your life, that you want to move forward, I'm proud of you for being here and showing up. And I don't say that to blow smoke up anyone's ass. I genuinely am here to help people. When I offer coaching, I also offer those free 15-minute consultations where I talk to anyone for free, one-on-one. I do this because I genuinely want to help people. And you know what? For anybody that's talked to me in real life, for anyone that's done a free 15-minute consultation, my guess is you know that I want to help. You probably see that by the way I talk to anyone and try to help them in the best way that I can. Let's talk about the month of May, because May is now over. I want to share with you my May fasting results. I held a challenge for the month of May, and I said, I'm going to do 65-hour fast for the entire month of May. Back to back to back to back to back for the entire month. And you know what? I did it. I did 10 of them in a row. 10 65-hour fasts for the entire month of May. You can see here, 67 hours, 67 hours, 67 hours, 67 hours. I did around 65 to 70-ish hours for 9 fasts in a row. But this very last one, which ended yesterday, I did from May 29th to June 1st, 83 and a half hours. I extended it for another 12-ish hours because yesterday I took a day off. And I said to myself, you know what, Jerome? You did 10 of these in a row for the month of May. Take a day off. And it was the first time I took just a day off to relax and not worry about walking for an hour, lifting weights. I didn't worry about eating for a short period of time. I didn't worry about how many calories I'm going to eat. I just enjoyed the day. I also did it because I wanted to learn about myself. I wanted to say, Jerome, can you actually do this? Can you do something where you just take a day off and be okay with it and get back on the horse? So this was yesterday. This was yesterday, right? Where I ate the entire day. I gave myself a day off because I say this because a lot of people say, but it's so hard to get back fasting again the next day. And it's true. It is. But because I practice imperfect consistency, because I have done this now for 210 days, for 30 weeks, for 7.5 months, when I tell myself I'm going to start fasting again, I start fasting again. I'm 18 and a half hours in because I ended my fast, or I ended my refeed yesterday, and I'm back on it again. And I'm now doing another 65-hour fast, and I'm not eating until Tuesday, until I do this 65-hour fast. I can say simple as that. And in a way, it is maybe as simple as that. But for a lot of us, it takes practice to do that. It takes a lot of practice to do that. Angie, with a $10 donation. Angie, hi. It's always nice to see you. Coach Jerome. I do work with Angie as well. I just love how you guys are starting to call me coach. It's a little weird for me. Angie, it's great to see you as always. Kicked ass this week. I love to hear that, Angie. I look forward to our next session so we can talk about it. I messed up 2 days and gained what I lost this week, back to fasting. And that is what it's all about. It is learning from your mistakes. It's knowing that these things are going to happen, that your fasting journey will never be perfect, but getting back on it, being consistent, showing up, being accountable, being in these live streams, sharing where you're at in chat, sharing where you're at in the comments. If you miss a live stream, commenting on the videos and saying, Jerome, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. Showing that accountability, going through the process of doing that, I think really makes a difference, because it's you showing up time and time again, just like I am showing up for you. I'm showing up for you, all of you. That's why I post these videos every couple of days, because I have to be accountable. I have to show some accountability. When I am coaching Angie, when I'm coaching everyone else that has like shown up here, I do that because I think being accountable makes you understand, oh man, I got to show up. If you can't show up for yourself, show up for somebody else. I know I can't show up for myself. I try to, but I'm so motivated by all of you that I show up by doing that. Angie, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you for the support. I look forward to our next coaching session. You guys, okay, hold on one second. Mike is a YouTube member. Mike is now part of the Finally Fasting fam. Give me 1 second. My foot fell asleep. I forgot I don't have my stickers on me. Mike, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. Give me 1 second because I have to go grab the F sticker for anyone who's a member in chat, or for anyone that is part of the Finally Fasting fam. Can we get a couple Fs for Mike? Or, oh, I don't think I have this logo as a sticker yet. I should put that up there, but give me 1 second. Can we get some F's up for Mike? Mike, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support. JC also became part of the Finally Fasting fam. Can we get some F's for JC? JC, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. I was going to say, JC, it's great talking to you too, but yes, JC, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Sunshine with a $10 donation. Sunshine, thank you for the support. Thank you for the donation. I know this sounds very repetitive, so I'm sorry. I apologize. Sunshine says, thank you, Jerome. I now consistently walk 4+ miles a day. I love that for you. That's great. That's awesome. How does that feel? Does it feel like a routine now? I walk every single day. I try to give myself a day off here and there, but it's hard because I just love walking. It doesn't really feel like working out. It's just a leisurely walk. And now that the weather's getting better, I live here by the lake and it's just such a beautiful view almost always. I love it. Hit my record best at 7 miles on Saturday. That's amazing. I love that for you. Now that results are visible, peers say to slow down. No, I'm catching up on life. I love that. Hashtag Finally Fasting Sunshine. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the donation. Congrats to you for finding something that you can be consistent with, that hopefully this just becomes a part of your routine, that it doesn't even feel like a chore, right? That for me, when I go for a walk in the morning, it is like a dopamine hit. It feels good to be out. It feels good to get some sun. It just feels good to be active and do something. To think that when I was binging for 2+ years, the only time I'd ever leave my apartment was if I wanted to go get food. And if I didn't want to spend $50, $75, $100 on DoorDash. Now, you can't get me to just stay in my apartment. I want to be out. I want to do something. I want to be walking around. I want to be active. Sunshine, I love that for you. Congrats. Congrats again. Cassandra with a $10 super chat. Cassandra, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the donation. Cassandra says, thank you for your advice and guidance. You're very welcome, Cassandra. I appreciate you. I appreciate you and the Finally Fasting family. Appreciate you as well, Cassandra. I've been struggling this past week, and this helps me get focused and back on track. That's great. I love that. And that's what these live streams are for. It is to find some some focus in what you're doing. It's to get inspired. It's to get motivated. So I love that for you as well. Currently at 215 pounds. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for even just admitting where you're at, because I know for some people that can be very helpful. Sometimes owning up to the truth. That's why when I talk about being honest with yourself, I mean that. For a lot of us, I think we start to doubt where we're at and what we're doing. We start to deny it, not doubt. We start to deny it. And I think the practice of also being honest with yourself can be freeing, to tell yourself and maybe to tell others, yeah, this is where I'm at. This is the current state I'm in. This is how I am, but I'm okay with that. And there's nothing wrong with that because this is part of my journey and I'm just moving on. So Cassandra, thank you so much for the $10 donation. JC with a $5 Australian donation. Can you talk about food addiction and how fasting helps? JC, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Can I talk about food addiction and how fasting helps? So as somebody who is addicted to food, as somebody who has issues when it comes to, oh man, this is a very layered thing to talk about, but I'll try. For me, it's not only the addiction to food, but it is the fact that I know that I am always going to food to cope. I'm going to food to comfort. I'm going to food to answer A, B, and C of all my questions, right? Food is always the answer to everything. When food becomes the answer to being sad, to being bored, to being stressed out, it becomes a problem. When food is starting to leak into other parts of your life, when you're using food in ways that might affect your relationships with people, with work, and when for those that might be asking, well, how does food interfere with your social life? I'll share with you. For me, I use food when I'm stressed out. And what happens is I eat and then I binge to the point where I eat so much that, right, that affects my health, one. But two, then I feel embarrassed because I'm like, how much weight did I gain? I feel bloated. I feel awful. My clothes aren't going to fit me right. And then I feel ashamed and I don't want to talk to people and I don't want to be seen with them because I'm too embarrassed. Now that's affecting my social life. If I was dating, I would feel embarrassed. I don't want to be seen because right now I feel ugly. That's affecting my social life in that way. I don't want to be on a Zoom call. You know what? I'm just going to miss this meeting. I'm going to call in because I don't want to go on this work trip. Do you see what I'm saying? You're starting to affect other parts of your life because of your addiction with food. When it comes to the fasting part of it, for me, and this is going to be different for everyone because people think certain ways. And I don't want to like harp on some of this, but this is why I think it's so important that everybody finds their own journey. There is no one solution to fix our issues with eating, our issues with losing weight. But there are people who say, people who binge eat like I do, someone like me who has an eating disorder, there are those that say you shouldn't fast because you're just going from one extreme to the other. But I disagree with that. I think fasting helps me regulate. How can I say this? Fasting puts me in a place where I'm not thinking about food. I'm not using food to cope. I'm not using food to comfort. Fasting helps me separate my mind away from food, at least for that amount of time. Fasting helps me focus on my work. It helps me focus on my relationships. It helps me focus on the things that are important to me than constantly thinking about food all day, every day. That's what fasting does for me. That's how it helps my addiction with food. That's how it helps my addiction with food right now. It's helped me fix my relationship with food. It doesn't mean it's cured, it's just fixed it. It's helped it. It's made it better. I'm better with my relationship with food because of fasting. And when I do eat, yeah, sometimes I eat out of comfort. When I do have my refeed, sometimes it's out of that. But you know what? It's not every day anymore. It's only when I refeed. And as time has gone on, I feel like my relationship with food has gotten better day over day. Every time I do this, every time I talk about imperfect consistency, every time I go for a walk in the morning, that's how fasting has helped me. It's helped separate my addiction to food. Maybe that's the best way I can put that. So, and I know I could probably talk about this in depth even more and layer it into that, but there are other things I want to talk about today too. So JC, thank you again for the $5 donation. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Did I miss anything else here? No, I'm good. So let me go back into my slides here. Let me share with you again, for those that might just be coming in, I did have a challenge for the month of May. It was a fasting challenge, but it was more of a consistency challenge. I told myself I would do 10 65-hour fasts for the month of May, and I did do that. For the very last fast, for my 10th one, I did longer than that. I did 83 hours, 83 and a half hours after doing 9 65-hour fasts in a row. I did 83 hours because I took June 1st to take a day off, which was yesterday, and do absolutely nothing except enjoy myself and not worry about eating in that type of way. On top of the consistency challenge, I also said I would walk for 1 hour at least 6 times a week. And I did that for 30 days out of the 31 days in the month of May. I said I would just do 26 walks for the month of May, and I did 30 of them. So I exceeded that expectation. I also said for the month of May, I would be consistent in strength training. I would go to the gym and strength train at least 3 times a week. I did that 16 out of the 13 times I told myself I would do that. So I exceeded the expectation as well. I also said I would try to sleep on average 7 hours. For the month of May, I slept 6 hours, 6.01 hours. I didn't hit my goal. Does that mean I should give up? Does that mean I should throw the day away? Or does that mean, oh, that's just Jerome practicing imperfect consistency? Because I tried really hard to sleep 7 hours, but it was difficult for me to do. And I know some days were better than others. And I know some days I stayed up way later than I should have. There were some days where I woke up in the middle of the night and I grabbed my phone and then I couldn't go back to sleep. Does that mean I should have just threw the day away and just ate whatever I wanted, not go to the gym, not go for a walk? And I know that sounds really silly when I say it like that, but that's what I'm talking about. This might be the way a lot of us think. And it might not be because of sleep. It might be because of the length of our fast. But when I say it this way, when I say, hey guys, I only slept 6 hours for the month of May, should I just throw everything away? You'd be like, no, that's fucking crazy. Why would you do that? That's what I'm talking about. When you don't fast for that amount of time and you just walk away from it for a week or a month, that's fucking crazy. Why are you doing that? That's me talking to you. I mean, honestly, why can't you just hit the timer again and go again? Why throw everything away? Just because I didn't hit 7 hours for the month of May doesn't mean I'm not going to try for the month of June, because that's what I'm going to do now. I'm not changing anything for the month of June. I'm still going to continue doing these 65-hour fasts. I'm still going to try to walk at least 6 times a week for an hour. I'm still going to try to go to the gym and lift weights at least 3 times a week. I'm still going to try to sleep 7 hours a night on average. And I'm still going to try to hit my goal of 137 pounds. On May 1st, I weighed 144 pounds. Yesterday, I weighed in at 139.2 pounds. I lost 4.8 pounds. My goal was to lose 7 pounds, right? Yeah, 7 pounds. My goal was to lose 7 pounds. I didn't get to it. I lost 4.8 pounds instead. Does that mean I throw the day away? Does that mean that today I should just eat whatever I want because I didn't hit my goal? No, because that's fucking crazy. Why would you do that, Jerome? Don't do that. Do you see where I'm going with this, with imperfect consistency? Do you see what I am trying to make you all understand? I know that I might sound kind of hard on people when I say that, but I'm just trying to let people know that it is a little silly to just think that you're just going to throw it away because you have a vacation coming up for a week. And what's the point of hitting the timer? What's the point of logging my info? What's the point of the whole point is because you want to take care of yourself. The whole point is because you want to be healthy. The whole point is because you want to hit your goals eventually. It doesn't mean that you're going to hit your goals tomorrow. It doesn't mean you're going to be perfect about what you're doing tomorrow. You are not going to be perfect on your journey, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Those are my numbers for the May fasting challenge, the May consistency challenge. I know a lot of you were asking me, well, Jerome, can you do one for June? Here's the thing is it's never ended. I've been doing the same thing. Even though I did 10 65-hour fasts for the month of May, I already did 15 of them in a row. I did 5 of them before that. Before or after I did my 10-day vacation, I already did 65-hour fasts in April. And I did 10 of them the entire month of May. And now I'm probably going to do another 10 of them for the entire month of June, which will give me 25 of them in a row. So nothing has changed. If anything, it's never ended because I've been doing this since November 6th, 2023. But I wasn't doing 65-hour fasts. I was doing 90+ hour fasts. I was doing something on a much longer fasting regimen. 30 weeks, 210 days, 7.5 months, showing up for 7.5 months. Think about where you'd be if you had been doing this with me for 30 weeks, if you've been following me since the very beginning of my journey. Imagine if you just said, hey, I'm just going to lose 1 pound a week. Let's just make that my goal. 1 pound a week. And it might not even be a number on the scale. Maybe your goal was to walk 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. But just imagine doing the practice of doing that. Imagine the practice of saying, you know what? I'm just going to try to do at least 16-hour fasts. Maybe they might be longer, but let's try to do at least 16-hour fasts every day. Imagine doing that for 7.5 months. Maybe those 16-hour fasts might have all of a sudden turned to 18 hours. Maybe those 18-hour fasts, maybe all of a sudden turn to 23 hours after 3 months of doing 16 hours because you were already getting good at it. Maybe you started peppering in 36-hour fasts. That's how you build your experience. Because it doesn't mean that you have to do 36-hour fasts over and over and over. It just means that you are getting into the habit, getting into the practice of doing something imperfectly consistent. Not doing something perfect, just doing it consistent. You would have been 30 pounds down if you told yourself 1 pound a week. You would have been 60 pounds down if it was 2 pounds a week as your goal. And even if you didn't get to that number, you would have still given yourself 7.5 months of experience, 30 weeks of experience. I can proudly say that this is day 210 for me without binging. I have not binged in 210 days. I know there are other people that think that my refeeds are binges, but you don't know what binges are like for me. They're not binging episodes for me. They're overeating episodes for me, sure. I eat 6,000 calories in a 4-hour time frame, sure. That's overeating. Okay, I admit that. But they're not binging episodes. I can tell the difference. you don't get to tell me what a binge is and what a binge isn't. Everyone, when it comes to that, it's going to be different for everyone. I only say this to the people who think they know what everyone else should be doing. And this is why I think it's so important that I keep hammering down that everyone's journey is going to be different. Your fasting journey is going to be different than mine is, than anyone else's is in this chat, on this stream, in the comments. You are only going to figure this out when you put the pieces of weight loss, the levers of weight loss, when you apply them to yourself and figure out what works and what doesn't. Your journey is your journey, and nobody can take that away from you. When I coach anyone that I coach, I don't tell them how long they should fast for. I might suggest things. I don't tell them how to eat. I might suggest things. I don't tell them how to exercise. I might suggest things. But I want them, anyone that I work with, to figure out what you think is realistically possible and aim for it. And then I'm here to show the accountability portion, to make sure you're being accountable for your actions. 1 second, everyone. I think okay, I'm good. Spike with a $10 super chat. Spike, thank you for the donation. Thank you for support. It's always nice to see you here, Spike. Spike says 28 days left in June. Someone can do 9 sets of 72s, 7 sets of 96s. Let's do this. And that's a great way to look at it too, right? Is maybe put your goal out like this. This is what you can do in a month or 28 days, which is 4 weeks. Maybe set that out as your goal. It doesn't mean that you imperfect consistency. 9 sets of 72s for the month of June. Maybe you'll get 6 down. Maybe you'll get 4 down. But maybe the other days that you don't hit those numbers, you still put some type of fasting regimen in there. You still put some type of exercise regimen in there. You're still taking care of your sleep. You're still focusing on all the other things that are important for you rather than throwing the day away. Yeah, this is a great way to look at it. Spike, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Spike, it's always great to see you. Melly Mel with a $5 donation. Melly Mel, thank you for the support. Thank you for the donation. Melly Mel says, I appreciate the tough love, Jerome. You're very welcome. I know sometimes when I even say it, I'm like, oh God, hopefully I'm not sounding too harsh, but I do think sometimes we need to hear it. Melly Mel says, I need it. Okay, there you go. May didn't go well for me. I'm not giving up. I love that for you. It's just part of the process. It's just continuing on. It's just learning from your mistakes. Hitting the timer after dinner tonight. There you go. Exactly. Hit the timer, go again, go for as long as you can healthily and happily. Get the fasting experience underneath you. Build your fasting muscle. Figure out what works. Figure out what doesn't. Adjust and tweak as necessary and go again. Go again and go again and go again. When people ask me, Melly Mel, thank you again for the $5 donation. When people ask me, Jerome, how did you get to that 90-hour number? Why 90 hours, Jerome? Why not 96? Why 65 hours, Jerome? Why not 72? Because I've done this through trial and error. I know what numbers work for me. I know that if I did 96-hour fasts, that means that I would always then push my next 96-hour fast later during a refeed. That's why I do 90 hours, because I know that it gives me time to eat in between. If I did 24-hour fast, that means I would have to end at the same day every day, but then I'd refeed and then it would push my time out longer. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is you just have to get into the practice of figuring out what works for you. Those numbers that I put together, it didn't come out of thin air. It came out of practicing it over and over and testing different things and learning about what works for me. And that's why when people want to like imitate what I'm doing, instead of finding their own way, it's going to be tough because everyone's number is going to be different. Everyone's fasting number is going to be different, and you need to find out what works for you. Sorry, everyone. I am looking at what I'm about to share next, and I'm just making sure I have my slides ready to go. So give me 1 second. When I lost 80 pounds in 5 months, hold on, everyone. I'm tired of sometimes my camera gets really finicky. Okay, that's even worse. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, maybe we'll just leave it. We'll leave it. I'll leave it alone. Val with a $5 super chat. Val, thank you so much for the support. Again, thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate you, Val. Val says, Jerome, I'm at 165 for 6 months now. I have a vacation in August. I need to lose 15 pounds. Will I lose it? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Val, thank you for the donation. Also, Val, I see where you're going with this. I know it's tough, but I love that you keep showing up, and I know that you are trying to just get into the habit of doing something consistent. So please keep us posted, regardless of what's happening. I look forward to the next episode of Val BZ. Val, thank you so much for the $5 donation. I just want to share these stats again, as I always do. When I started my journey, when I figured out the 90-hour time frame of fasting, this is what I did to lose the weight and hit my goal weight. I lost 78 pounds by performing 34 rolling fasts consecutively in 5 months, less than 5 months. I averaged 93 hours per fast. So in November, when I weighed 217.8 pounds, I did 34 fasts in a row that averaged 93 hours. They weren't always 93 hours. Some were shorter, some were longer, some were way longer, but overall averaged 93 hours, and performing those fasts allowed me to lose 78 pounds in less than 5 months. I refed in a short amount of time. I averaged 4 hours and 23 minutes per refeed. So keeping my refeed short and my fasts long is what got me to lose 78 pounds in 5 months. On top of my walking, on top of going to the gym to lift weights, on top of trying to get an adequate amount of sleep, trying to take care of myself in ways that I haven't done so in a long time. In those first 5 days, I've shared this many times, but I'll share it again. In the first 5 days, I've lost 10 pounds. In 19 days, I lost 25.8 pounds, still losing over 1 pound a day when I first started this. In 62 days, I lost 50 pounds. In 133 days, I lost 75 pounds. And in 138 days, which was less than 5 months, I lost 78 pounds. And then 4 days later, just a little over 5 months, I lost 80 pounds, getting down from 217.8 pounds to 137.8 pounds. And that was 2.5+ months ago. I have now kept the weight off for 2.5+ months. Today, I believe I'm on day 70. What day am I on? I'm on day 73 of my maintenance plan, meaning that when I got to my goal weight after I lost 80 pounds in 5 months, I have now kept that weight. I have now kept this weight off for 73 days, which is what's 73 days? That is almost 10.5 weeks. So I have now kept this weight off. I've continued to keep this weight off for over 2.5 months. And that's still through fasting. I can't ever stop fasting. I need to fast based on the way I eat. Fasting will always be part of my life. Fasting will always be something that I have to continue doing to keep the weight off. At this part of the stream, I am going to perform a fit check. This is where I show you where I'm at currently, fit-wise. Although yesterday was my refeed day, and yesterday I ate the entire day, and today I feel very bloated, but I have to show you anyway because that is part of what I do on the stream. That is me showing up. That is me being accountable. So here we go. I am currently wearing a size extra large youth. Remember, yesterday I looked much leaner. I'm very bloated right now, but we might as well. Sorry, I'm adjusting my shorts. Get this out of the way. This is a youth extra large. These are boys large shorts. Just FYI, I refed yesterday, so I think I gained 5.5 pounds today. So I'm 5.5 pounds more because I ate about 6,000, probably 7,000 calories yesterday since I ate the entire day. So I do feel bloated, but again, this is fit check. I am wearing a compressed shirt here. You can see this is loose skin here. I think this is loose skin. I don't know if some of it is fat. I'm not sure, but yeah. That's it. That's fit check. Okay, moving on. Today's topic, I want to talk about the flexibility of fasting. I want to talk about how we have no excuses to not fast. We should all be able to fast in some form or fashion. I'll explain after I fix this lighting because this lighting looks really off. It looks way too bright. One second, everyone. Oh my God, that's even worse. Oh my God, that's now too dark. How am I going to fix this? Okay, that wavy thing is going to drive me insane. Okay, I can't fix this. Oh my God. I'm sorry, everyone. Technical difficulties. Let's just leave it at this bright light, whatever. Okay, when I talk about fasting being flexible, what I mean by this is we should have no excuses when it comes to fasting because we all fast already. If you sleep, you're fasting. You put yourself in a fasted state when you sleep. The real question is, how long will you continue to fast for after sleeping? Are you going to break your fast first thing in the morning? Are you somebody that eats breakfast and then eats lunch and then eats dinner and then snacks in between breakfast and lunch and dinner? Then you're giving yourself no time for your body to separate itself from food except when you sleep. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing, but for me, if I did that, I would easily gain weight. The flexibility when it comes to fasting is after you wake up from sleeping, you can tell yourself, maybe I won't eat breakfast this early. Maybe I'll push breakfast a little later. Maybe I'll just eat lunch instead. And now, instead of fasting for 8 hours, 10 hours, now you're fasting for 12, 16. You're pushing it out a little later. You're performing a longer fast. For people who have issues with gaining weight, with people who have issues with their blood sugars, their high blood pressure, fasting has a lot of benefits. All of those have helped me through fasting. Not only does fasting work in that way, but I think a lot of us who practice fasting, we get into this mindset that we have to continue doing super long fasts all day, every day. By that, I mean, if you tell yourself you're going to do a 36-hour fast, it doesn't mean that every single time has to be a 36-hour fast. It doesn't mean that you have to perform these fasts longer and longer each time. There are so many different ways that you can fast. You can do OMAD every day, 23-hour fasts with a 1-hour eating window. They can alternate. Maybe you want to do alternate day fasting and you want to eat every other day. That's a 36-hour fast. Or you can combine the two. It doesn't mean you have to do 36-hour fasts back to back. Maybe one day you do a 36-hour fast followed by a OMAD. After that, another 36-hour fast. After that, another OMAD. Or maybe it's a 36-hour fast followed by 2 OMADs followed by a 36-hour fast, followed by another 2 OMADs followed by another 36-hour fast. Or you can do something where you keep your fast open-ended. I talk about this with a lot of people that I coach. An open-ended fast meaning that you are just going to fast for as long as you think you can, and then you are going to refeed when you're ready, and then you're going to fast again for as long as you can and repeat that process. Or you can do an open-ended fast and just keep weighing yourself on the scale for people who are crazy about the scale and who want to see the weight go down. Maybe what you do is you fast for as long as you can until the weight on the scale goes down. You refeed, which puts weight back on the scale, but then you fast again until you hit another number on the scale that is lower than the last weigh-in that you did. That can inevitably be a very harder fast because you don't know if you're going to eat that day or not. But that is another option. There are those who fast once a week, once a month. Longer fasts, prolonged fasts. And then eat regular the other days of the week. Or they fast once a week. They do a 72-hour fast Monday through Wednesday. And then the rest of the week, it's OMAD. There are so many ways to think about fasting. I want people to remember that just because you tell yourself you're going to do 72 hours doesn't mean you have to do 72 hours for the rest of your life. When I did 90+ hour fasts, when I was first losing that weight, I knew I wasn't going to do 90-hour fasts forever. Yeah, people in the comments who don't know my journey are like, you're going to do this forever? No, I'm not. I'm doing 65-hour fasts now, where people might think, you're going to do this forever? Yeah, maybe. If I keep eating 6,000 calories, yeah, maybe I'll keep doing 65-hour fasts, but that doesn't bother me. I can live with that. I've accepted the fact that I will always be fasting, that I don't have a choice unless I want to gain weight, or I need to start adjusting my levers of weight loss, and I need to be better about cleaning up my diet. But I'm not there yet. And I'm okay with that. There really isn't much to talk about when it comes to the flexibility of fasting, except that there are different ways of doing this. And I want to remind people that you don't always have to have these long, grueling fasts over and over and over, because I know for a lot of people, it starts to become taxing. It starts to become mentally taxing. It starts to become physically taxing. It gets to a point where you say, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you walk away from it. But instead, so let's say you're doing rolling 72-hour fasts. You've done a 72-hour, you've done your second in a row, you've done your third in a row, you've done 10 in a row, and you don't want to do it anymore because you feel burnt out. Does it mean you walk away from it completely because you tell yourself, this is too much, I just don't want to fast anymore? No, that's not what it means. What if you did 10 of those in a row, which congratulations if you're able to do that, but then you say, you know what, my next one, I'm going to do an OMAD. And you know what, maybe I'm going to do an OMAD the entire week before I get into 72s. And so you go a whole week of doing OMAD. And you get back onto another 72, and then you realize after doing 172 that you're still not there yet. Who's to say you can't do another 23-hour fast or a 16/8, or even give yourself a day off, or just do a 12-hour fast? What's wrong with going through the practice of imperfect consistency and just fasting for as long as you can until you comfortably can tell yourself, I can do another longer fast? Who's to say that you can't adjust the other levers of weight loss and just clean up your diet more, or start working out more? Or if you haven't lifted that you start going to the gym and you start lifting and you start adjusting the different levers of weight loss to get to your goal weight, to be healthier, to take care of yourself. It doesn't mean you have to walk away from this. I think that's all I have when it comes to the flexibility of fasting. At this point of the live stream, actually right after Spike's $10 donation, Spike, thank you so much for a $10 donation. Thank you as always. Jerome, besides refeed totals offsetting, what's your average weight loss during fasts? About 1 to 2 pounds a day. Also, did you eat tons of good food on June 1st? Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about yesterday's day off. Besides refeed totals offsetting, what's your average weight loss during fasts? About 1 to 2. Yes. So when and I'll share that part with you, Spike. I know I have this here, and I'll just share when I was doing 90-hour fasts. So when I was doing 90-hour fasts, this was the weight I lost after offsetting my refeed weight, meaning this is the additional amount of weight I lost after evening out after a refeed. So for every 90-ish hour fast, on average for almost 5 months, I lost 2.2 pounds. Now, here's the thing though, Spike, is right now doing 65-hour fasts, I lose weight, but at a very small pace. I'm probably at this point, I'm losing maybe 0.4 pounds, maybe on average, probably less than that at this point. But that's because of the way I eat. And so that's always going to vary from person to person. But that's why when I do 90-hour fasts, I will lose weight because I have the data to back it up. I did 34 of them in a row and I lost 2.2 pounds on average during those 34. So I know that if I continued to do 90-hour fasts, I would continue to lose more weight. Probably not 2.2 pounds because I'm now at my goal weight, but probably my guess would be anywhere from half a pound to a pound after every 90-hour fast. Spike, thank you for the $10 donation. I appreciate you. Spike also asked, so yesterday, June 1st, was the first time I gave myself a day off. Spike asked me what I ate. So yesterday I had a very long refeed. I ate the entire day. I started off with breakfast food. I went to this place in Chicago called Honey Bear Cafe. And at the very beginning of when you get there, they give you these like really small cheesecake bites. So I started my refeed with coffee with cream and sugar. Well, I put Splenda, but I had cream in it, which was a treat for me because it's not something I typically do. I had these cheesecake bites, and I have this all on camera, so I'll share it with you anyway. But I also had avocado toast, which actually was pretty good there. I know avocado toast, people make fun of it, but it was good. I had avocado toast. I had this like tres leches French toast. I had a bit of like this carnitas skillet. And then after that, I ate all the same foods I typically eat, Spike, which is weird. So after that, I came home. I had cashews. I had protein bars. I had bananas. I did have popcorn, which was different. And I only had popcorn because it was sitting in my cabinet and I hadn't opened it in months. So I had popcorn, which was different. And then I didn't eat for a while. And then later in the evening, I was like, should I get hot dogs or eat something different? And then I ate the same foods. I ate Brussels sprouts. I ate Italian sausage. The only thing different is I had white chocolate chip macadamia nut cookies. I had pumpkin pie, and that was it. I ate the exact same food, just in a longer time frame. Which is funny to me that those were the foods that I was craving. I didn't want pizza. I didn't want a burger. I didn't want Mexican food. Because even during my refeeds, I go get all you can eat sushi. I go get all you can eat Korean barbecue. I think about all these other foods that I eat. I already get to eat almost anything I want. Not almost. I get to eat anything I want during my refeeds. So I already treat myself to different foods. So even just giving myself this day off, the only thing that really changed was I got to extend my eating window, and I didn't go for a walk and I didn't work out. But I enjoyed the day and I really appreciated it. So Spike, thank you again for the $10 donation. Everyone here at this point, I want people to go ahead and ask questions. This is the Q&A portion of this live stream where I will answer questions. I might not be able to answer them all, but I will try to answer as much as I can. At this point, though, I do want to talk about coaching. So for anyone that is curious, yes, I do offer coaching. You can go to this link here, or you can check the link in the description and click on that to book some time with me. Coaching is one-on-one. They are personalized types of coaching where most people come to me to talk about accountability, but it's also to talk about fasting. It's to talk about weight loss. It's to talk about if you have emotional triggers when eating. Do you have an issue when it comes to eating? I might not have all the answers, but I can promise you that I've been there. And sometimes having that discussion to talk about where you are and what you're doing can be very helpful. Think about the last time you had a conversation with anyone about fasting or about what it's like to struggle with your weight. Sometimes talking about it can be so helpful. And my hope is to help anybody that is struggling, to help you find your goals, to help you get there. That's why for anyone who's watching this, or if you're watching right now, you can sign up for 15 minutes to talk with me for free if you haven't talked to me before. If you've talked to me already for 15 minutes for free, it's not like you can do it again. That's not what this is for. But for anybody that wants to ask questions or just wants to have a consultation and see if it's right for them, please feel free. So I do offer coaching in that regard, but there's also a link there if you want to be part of the Finally Fasting fam. There is an autophagy tier that I do offer. There's a link in the description. You can click on that if you become an autophagy member. I also hold group fasting sessions. They're more casual at this point, but I hold these live streams on Wednesday evenings as a group. So if you are part of that, you can come in there. I don't talk about myself for the most part. I answer questions. I ask other people to be accountable and share where they're at and what they're doing. So feel free to join that if you're looking for that as well. If you're looking for some kind of additional help in what you're doing, additional support when it comes to your weight loss journey, your fasting journey, your not accountability journey, but if you're looking for accountability, consider coaching or consider the group coaching. You can find all of those links in the description. There you go. I'll leave it at that. I'm going to try to answer questions at this point if you have any questions. If not, then this might be it, but let's see. Fabs Tolly, any loose skin? Yes. Somebody asked this at the very beginning of my live stream. People ask me this all day, every day in the comments. Do I have loose skin? Of course I have loose skin. I have been 100 pounds heavier. I've lost 100 pounds. I've gained it all back. I've lost it again. I've gained and lost 50 pounds throughout the entire course of my life. I'm 43 years old. Yes, I have loose skin. I always tell people, I show this, I have loose skin right here on my neck. For those that don't know, when people wonder where the weight goes, yes, I've lost most of the weight off of my stomach, but a lot of weight my head has gotten smaller. On top of my head and face getting smaller. I mean, look at the thumbnail. For those that are wondering, look at the thumbnail in this video or in this live stream. You can see how big my head was. And I know that sounds silly to say, but you can see how big my head was there versus where it is from the back-to-back picture or the side-to-side comparison. So yes, I have loose skin because my neck has gotten smaller. I have loose skin right here. You can see it right here on my upper arm. I have loose skin on my stomach. I don't show this part because I am very self-conscious, but you can see the lines here. I am wearing a compressed shirt, but I have loose skin like right here. I don't know. Some people might not have loose skin, but I'm also 43. I've gone through this back and forth time and time again. I have loose skin on my upper inner thighs. I don't care for it, but it's there. But yes, I do have loose skin. I go to the gym and I lift weights because I'm hoping that building muscle will maybe curb some of that. But for anyone that's also wondering, I have been lifting weights since the very beginning of my journey. I might not have been lifting heavy at the very beginning of my fasting journey. And yes, for anyone that wonders, you can lift while being fasted. How do I know? Because I've done it. How do you know if you can do it? You won't until you try and see. It doesn't mean that maybe you do it right away because maybe you haven't gotten used to fasting yet. Maybe you need to build your fasting muscle before you do something that's strenuous. But yes, it can be done. And I'm not the only one that has lifted weights while fasting. There are many other people that do that as well. Fabs Tali, thank you for the question. Life with Joe Lob. Hi, Joe Lob. What's my height and weight? I'm 5'3". I'm short. I'm 43 years old. I know you're not asking for my age, but I might as well share that. I'm 43. I'm 5'3", which is 1.6 meters for people who don't live in the States. And I weigh currently, yesterday I weighed in at 139.2 pounds after my 83-hour fast. And then I refed. And this morning I gained about 5-ish pounds, 5.5 pounds. I think this morning I weighed in at 145.2. Actually, I forgot to share some of those numbers. Do I have that right here? I'll share this in a bit too. Actually, Life with Joe Lob, thank you for the question. So I'm going to share this for those who are wondering. Where is this slide? Why am I missing this? Give me 1 second, everyone. And I'll continue to answer questions, but I'm just going to share this right now. I am 73 days into my maintenance plan. If you look on the very right here, day 72 was yesterday. I weighed in at 139.2 pounds. Oh, that's not supposed to be 67 hours. That was an 83-hour fast with a 12-hour eating window. I just forgot to update that part there. But day 73, which is today, that's after my refeed. I was up over 5 pounds, almost 6 pounds. Wait. Exactly 6 pounds. I want people to remember, after a refeed, I gain anywhere between 4 to 6 pounds. The last couple of refeeds, I was gaining 7 pounds. It doesn't deter me. It doesn't change the fact that I'm not going to fast. It doesn't change my eating window. It doesn't change the mindfulness in my exercise or my sleep. I still do what I do because I trust the process. And I trust the process so much that if you look here, during my maintenance phase, after gaining 21 pounds after a 10-day vacation, this is where I've been. After gaining 21 pounds on a 10-day vacation, I lost 10 pounds after the first 65-hour fast. Getting from 158 to 149. Performing 65-hour fasts over and over and over, 15 of these now in a row, and now I'm back in the 130s. It works. Rolling fasts works. I'm proof of that. How do you know if it's going to work for you? You won't know unless you try. My average fast in these last 73 days of maintenance, I have been averaging about 55. Well, this is really about 56 hours. During my weight loss journey, my fasting regimen was much longer, 93 hours. It's a difference of 37 hours. So for those that might think that it's crazy that I'm still fasting for long amounts of time, sure, but it wasn't the 90 plus hours I was originally doing it. There's a 37-hour difference from when I was trying to lose the weight to maintaining the weight. And for me, that makes it so much easier to do what I'm doing right now. Even my average refeeds during maintenance, 6.5 hours compared to what I was refeeding during my weight loss journey. 2 hours more I get to eat. And I love that. Days in my maintenance range, out of these, oops, that's supposed to say 73. Out of the 73 days, I have stayed in my range for 25 of those days. What I'm trying to say is, yes, I should be in this range for maintenance, but I also know it's not going to be perfect. The 10 days of vacation really threw me off, and it took some time to get my weight back down, but that's still part of my maintenance phase. That's me learning. That's me living with days off. That's me learning what to do during vacation, what to do during the days off that I've had. Sherry with a $5 donation. Hi, Sherry. It's nice to see you as always. Thank you for the support. Sherry says, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Did you find your day off as fun as you thought, or kind of not worth it? No, my day off was worth it. I enjoyed having the day off to do nothing, to enjoy time, having a day off. Our brain sometimes makes it sound better than it is. And that is true. Sometimes our brain, we imagine our refeeds are going to be this amazing refeed. I can't wait until I eat X, Y, and Z. And then the moment it comes, it wasn't as exciting as you thought it was. But I really did enjoy my day off. And I look forward to having another day off. Actually, next month in July, I'm going on a 4-day vacation. And I'm really excited about that. It's also going to be a real big test for me to see if I eat the same way during when I was on a 10-day vacation. The difference too is this 4-day vacation, I'm not going to be in town. The 10 days was when my friend was here. So I had a lot of control still. 4 days being not in Chicago and being on an actual vacation, we'll see what that looks like, because I won't have the opportunity to cook Brussels sprouts and Italian sausage, although I didn't when my friend was here either. So maybe it'll be the same. We'll see what that looks like. But Sherry, thank you for the $5 donation. It's always nice to see you. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you. Let me scroll back up. I'll get back to answering questions. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. Sorry, everyone. Scrolling down here to make sure I get to whatever questions I can get to. Nashism. Hi, Nashism. I finished my first 4-day fast successfully. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing. However, I was experiencing bloating, flatulence, and very watery stools. Is that common? Yes. It is common for a lot of people who are fasting, who haven't fasted in a very long time, who it's happened to me. I also tell people I'm kind of an anomaly. I can fast for 7 days and I can break with pizza and beer and I can be okay. Yes, sometimes I get very bloated. Like today, I feel bloated. Yeah, I can be gassy. Yeah, I can have bouts of diarrhea. But it isn't as bad as what I'm hearing from other people. I want people in chat to maybe share, even though this might be TMI, but maybe share your experience. Nashism, there are ways to maybe go about this. People recommend eating a certain way. People recommend maybe eating something small at first, maybe a small piece of protein, waiting about half an hour, and then eating something a little more complex, or eating something fermented like kimchi or sauerkraut. I'm only like sharing what people have talked about, eating yogurt, and then just eating something small like that, and then eating something more to test your stomach out. So it's going to be different for everyone. It is common though. Nashism, thank you for your question. I'm glad. Congratulations though on your 4-day fast. Goddess Blood. Hi, Goddess Blood. Could you describe your grocery shopping process? I'm curious if you shop on refeed days or if you're able to handle shopping while fasting. Goddess, I only shop for food on my refeed days. When I go for my hour-and-a-half walks in the morning, on my way home from my walk, that's when I buy food for the day. Because I'm only eating once every 3 days, so I usually only buy food for the day then. I will buy something like bananas where I like them ripe, so I'll buy bananas for my next fast, but that's it. I don't, or for my next refeed. But that's the process for me. I keep it simple where I just buy food for the day. Any leftover like Italian sausages that I have, I throw it in the freezer and then I thaw it the day I refeed. I find it challenging to keep food around during a fast. Here's the thing, Goddess, that's the same way for me. I used to be very I used to never I could never keep food in the house because I knew that if I kept food in the house, it would be too much of a too much of a temptation. But you know what? This is a great question because let me share with you. 1 second. These are the cashews I love. These are the cashews I eat. I love eating all day, every day. This is an unopened bag of peanut M&Ms. This is a Snicker bar. These are payday bars. This is the bag of popcorn I ate yesterday during my day off. I can actually open it and it sits here and I know I'm not going to eat it because I'm fasting. You know those peanut M&Ms? Those peanut M&Ms are probably 5 months old and I haven't eaten them. That's different for me. That's not something I could ever do. I could never keep food in the house. But because I've been doing this for so long, I have learned so much about myself. I've learned to actually control not eating food. The only reason I haven't touched those Snickers bars or paydays or peanut M&Ms is because when I do my refeed, I structure it in a way. You've seen me eat my refeeds. For those who have watched my other videos, I start with meat and vegetables, and then I have fruits, and then I eat nuts, and then I eat anything I want after. By that period, by that time, I'm so full because I'm still eating pumpkin pie. I'm still eating a tin of cashews. I'm eating the foods I want to eat, that by the time that these foods come up, I'm not even craving them anymore. That bag of popcorn that's there that I opened yesterday because I was on my day off, I think that was there for over a month. I've gotten used to it. It's weird. That's not something I could ever have done in the past. Now it just looks weird seeing a bunch of food sitting there. Goddess, thank you for the question. Did someone else donate? Raul with a $5 donation. Raul, thank you for the donation. Thank you for the support. Can I fast while on blood pressure medication? Raul, I am not a doctor. I hate to say it, but I can't give you an answer here. It would be, first of all, it would be unwise of me to give you any kind of answer when it comes to that. I will share with you, though, as someone that was on blood pressure medication, I used to take lisinopril. I took myself off of it personally because my blood pressure was getting too low. I didn't feel good. So I took myself off of it. Raul, I'm not telling you to get off of it. I'm telling you, you probably need to talk to your doctor or you need to figure out what works for you. I cannot give you that answer. Again, I'm not a doctor, but, hopefully you can implement some type of fasting and figure out what works. So Raul, thank you for the $5 donation though. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Thank you for the question. All right, let me go ahead and scroll back up here. If I can find my place. Oh man. Okay, I found my place. Sadie. Hi, Sadie Flint asks, how much water do you drink during the day typically? I don't count how much water I drink. I know there are a lot of people that I talk to who say, you need to drink at least a gallon of water. You need to drink at least 3 liters. You need to drink. I'm going to tell you right now, drink as much as you think you should drink. I don't count how much water I drink. If you're asking me how much water I typically drink in a day, 4 glasses maybe, but that's also with a combination of a cold brew in the morning and iced coffee in the morning. And I don't know how much ice I eat because I eat ice when I have a cold brew or when I have an iced coffee. I drink a Diet Coke occasionally. But I'd say somewhere between 4 to 6 glasses. I mean, I have a bottle of water here right now. I don't know. That's maybe my second one today. I've had a Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi earlier. So yeah, I don't even count how much water I drink. I keep things very simple. I drink when I'm thirsty, I guess is the best way I can put it. Some days less, some days more. Also depends on my exercise and what I'm doing. Sadie, thank you for the question. Appreciate you. Angela, is this question for me? Hi, Angela. Nice to see you. I'm not sure if this question is for me. Are you asking me if I'm quite tall, or are you asking someone else? Because Angela, I think you know that I'm not tall. I'm 5'3". I'm short. LV Big Man. Hi, LV Big Man. What's next for your goal? My goal is to hit 137 pounds. So it's to lose about 2 more pounds. I want to be at the very low end of my maintenance range. But my next for my goal is to still continue to build as much muscle as I can. But I'll tell you this. I do have goals for the month of June. I want to try to do a dry fast for the month of June. I want to try to do maybe at least a 36-hour dry fast. I want to also maybe try to at least do one type of diet for maybe, I don't know if I can do a full week, but maybe carnivore for a week, or low carb for a week, or whole food plant-based for a week, or fruits for a week, or vegan for a week, or I think even Spike talked about this on our Wednesday live stream, doing low fat, high carb, which was like something I remember doing in the 90s, but like doing something different. I want to try to see if I can move away from just eating 6,000 calories and trying something different and see if it'll actually benefit me in a better way. I want to build more tools for my toolbox, or I want to have more tools in my toolbox, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But those would be my goals. I guess that would be it. But really, if I could build more muscle and lose more fat, that's my ideal thing. If I can, like, I'd love to be ripped, right? I don't think I'll ever be there, but that would be great if I could get to that point. Green Groves. Hi, Green Groves. Question: that chart with the rolling 96s, those aren't rolling 96s. Those are rolling 90s. What was that, wet or dry fasting? Wet. I don't really dry fast for that long. I've never dry fasted for that long. Usually my dry fasts now are when I sleep and when I get up and I go work out. And that probably just ends up being maybe 10 hours at the most. So rolling 90s though, not 96s. Okay, let me get back. Grinding with Joe Lob asks, what's the biggest I've ever been? So at 5'3", at 1.6 meters, the heaviest I've ever been was 235 pounds. I've shared photos of myself at that weight. You can look at any of my thumbnails and see. There are photos of me in like this blue and black striped polo. That was me probably at 235. There's another photo of me in a thumbnail where I'm wearing a brown polo, and I was 235 then too. But that's the biggest I've ever been. I used to weigh 235 pounds. I have been as low as 124.8 pounds, I think. And I have never been under 180 pounds or maybe 175 pounds until I started fasting. Fasting has been the only thing that has ever gotten me under the weight I'm at right now. Thanks, Steven. Steven says, not really a question, but you said to help us keep you accountable. Have you gotten your blood work done? I have not. You know what? I was going to write it down, but I let me do that this week. If I don't do that this week, I don't know what I'll do. I'll do something for you all if I don't at least make my appointment for my blood work. Maybe you guys can tell me what that is. I'll do for you. But I should definitely do that. Steven, thank you for the, not really a question, but keeping an accountable type comment. So thank you. Nashism, what fermented food to eat during a refeed after 4-day fasting? Yeah. And so I had mentioned kimchi or sauerkraut or yogurt, but maybe other people in chat can help with that. So anyone in chat, if you can help, please ask. Go Lee Khan asks, what's a good app to use to track fasting? I use the Zero app, but I really do not recommend it because it forces you to use a credit card. A lot of people talk about the Life app. So that is something that if you want to try out, other people have mentioned other apps. I have mentioned here that I am trying to work on an app so that it's no bullshit, that you guys can just use a proper fasting app that gives you proper refeeds, but that might be a long time coming still. But maybe I can put something together so that you guys have something that is just a no frills, no bullshit kind of fasting app, which would be called Finally Fasting, by the way. Okay. Sadie, hey guys, did he answer my question about how much water he typically drinks? Yes, I did. Nashism says, can refeeds be 12 hours long? Refeeds can be however long you want them to be. They can be 24 hours if you want them to be. I'm guessing they won't be 24 hours. After the 4-day fast, I couldn't eat all of the things within the 6 to 8 hour period. Here's the thing, Nashism. When you say you couldn't eat all of the things within a 6 or 8 hour period, why are you trying to eat everything that you're wanting to eat between 6 to 8 hours? Are you saying that you need to eat them? Are they even nutrient dense? Or are you saying, hey, I can't eat all the junk food I wanted to eat, so I want to make it last longer? Is that really the right choice? Or are you saying I can't put down 500 calories because I'm full right away? If that's the case, then maybe you need to keep it longer. But if you're saying that you want to just eat whatever you want to eat during that time, that's on you. That's really up to you to see if that is going to be a detriment, if it's going to backtrack your 4-day fast. My assumption is it isn't going to. Fasting for 4 days, fasting for 96 hours, unless you're eating probably 8,000 calories, I think you're going to be fine. So yeah, why don't you keep it longer if you think that's going to be helpful for you? This is part of your journey. This is you learning if this is something that works for you or if it doesn't. Howie asks, hello, did you experience any hair loss as a result of fasting? No, but I already have thin hair. I actually shaved my head for the summer. So it's not something that, like, I don't know. Like I didn't experience like hair loss in general, but like even as like in my late teens, I was already like experiencing thinning hair. So not hair loss in general, but I know people talk about that as well. It's just not something that I've dealt with. Right? But not hair loss. I have thin hair. If it grows out, you can tell it's thinned out. I also wear a hat all the time, so I'm okay with that. So it's different for me. I just want to put this. I know it's not a question. This is a great channel. Thanks, Mr. Loa Hawks. Oh, Mr. Iowa Hawks. Yes, Iowa Hawks 77. Thank you, Mr. Iowa Hawks. Okay, let me scroll down here. Let me see. Remember, everyone, this is a Q&A portion. So if you have questions, ask them now because I might not be able to get to everything, but I will try. I will try. Kevin asks, on average, how many pounds were you losing per day? I can't say per day, but I'll say, I mean, per day, it depends on what I eat. If you're at like after a refeed, because I eat 6,000 calories. So after I eat 6,000 calories, I'll probably gain 5 pounds. And then after the first day, I'll lose 3. Then the second day, I'll lose 2, and then I'll be even. But on average, I was losing about 2 pounds per 90-hour fast. At the very beginning, when I weighed way more than I weigh now, I was losing about a pound a day. For the first and I'll share this again, Kevin. Maybe this is what you want to see here. Maybe this will be helpful for you. Oh, that's not the right chart, although that is a very helpful one too. But let me get back to this. That isn't what I wanted to share. Where did I put this? Why am I losing my mind here? Oh my God. Why can I not find this? There we go. So on average, how many pounds was I losing a day? I mean, you can look at it like this. This is when I first started my weight loss journey. In 5 days, I lost 10 pounds. So I lost 2 pounds a day my first 5 days. In 19 days, I lost 25 pounds, almost 26 pounds. So I was still losing more than 1 pound a day. In 62 days, I lost 50 pounds. So I wasn't losing 1 pound a day anymore. On average, I lost 2.2 pounds per 90-hour fast. So I know maybe not the question or the answer you needed exactly, but hopefully that's helpful for you. Thank you for the question, Kevin. I appreciate you. Tina, hi, Tina, with a $5 super chat. Tina, thank you for the support. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Tina says, I want to join the autophagy group because I need more accountability. Will this help? Tina, it's whatever. Will it help is also partly up to you. If you join the autophagy group, ask questions, share where you're at accountability wise. What I'm doing right now, talking, showing your chat, is what happens during these accountability live streams, especially the Wednesday ones, because that's not where I'm talking about myself. That's where you ask questions, you tell me where you're at, you ask questions about what you're doing and how I can help you. And you ultimately have to figure out if that info is helpful for you or not. So my hope is that it is going to be helpful. For anyone that's on those Wednesday live streams, you can chime in as well. Please share if you find it helpful for you. But those Wednesday live streams, it is kind of casual too. People just like to hang out and talk, but people do like to share where they're at. They share fasting tips. They share eating tips. We spent the last Wednesday live stream, for a while, we were talking about carnivore. For a while, I was asking questions. I was asking people in chat to talk to me about carnivore. So those Wednesday live streams are whatever you want them to be. You just have to show up in chat and talk, and I will answer and ask and have chat help answer those questions as well. So thank you, Tina, for the $5 donation. I appreciate your support. Or maybe it's just to try it out for the month and see if it's helpful for you. Scrolling back up. Loved hot dogs. I just have to show this. Me too. Duck fat fries, right, Steven? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, let me scroll back up here. Oh, Spike, yeah. Jerome, did you ever eat at Hot Dogs before it closed? I did. It's been forever. But you know what? Not hot dogs in general, but a version of it came back. And I can't remember, the name was changed, but they still serve duck fat fries. But I think for a while too, they served it at Wrigley during Cubs games. But yes, thanks for the question, Spike. For those that don't know, people are asking about a hot dog place in Chicago. Just FYI. All right, scrolling down. Ulysses, am I saying that right, Ulysses? What are the stages of fasting per hour? Are you asking stages of like autophagy, the stages of ketosis? People in chat, can you please help with this question? Because for me, I don't even think about it. This question, Ulysses, like for me, it's going to be different. When I eat 6,000 calories, think about that for 2 seconds. I eat 6,000 calories. That's 3 days worth of food for some other people. I eat 6,000 calories. For me to get into ketosis is probably going to take a lot longer than it takes somebody else who eats 2,000 calories, who eats 1,800 calories. To get into autophagy is probably going to be different for me as well. So I don't know if that's what you're asking specifically, but I don't even think about that. I know there are people here who check what level they're at in ketosis, but I don't do that. And you know why I don't do things like that? You know why I don't take supplements or take electrolytes or count how much water I drink or do any of those things? Is because I try to keep things simple. When I start going into these other things of measuring this and making sure I'm here. And then I started, there are some people who are like, I'm in ketosis now. So now this is where my body is. And so now this is why this is, it's like, maybe you're overthinking things. Maybe you're putting yourself in a position where, why don't you just fast and trust the process and see if you can lose weight? And Ulysses, I'm not saying this to like, I'm not knocking you on this. I'm just, sometimes there are people who are maybe overthinking it. And for me, I'm just like, just trust the process and just fast and see if it's helpful for you. But thank you for the question. I appreciate you, or I appreciate you asking a question and being in here. Jacqueline, hi Jacqueline. Jacqueline asks, did you ever experience guilt for wanting to lose the last 15 to 20 pounds? Because I'm feeling guilt for that. So for me, when I had 15 to 20 pounds to lose during my 5-month journey, did I ever experience guilt for wanting to lose it? I don't think I've experienced guilt. I guess I'm maybe having a hard time understanding this question. I guess I'm wondering why I would feel guilt for wanting to lose it. Because when I had 15 to 20 pounds to go, I just told myself, okay, I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep trusting the process. But I don't think I felt guilty per se. I feel like I'm not understanding the question properly. So I feel like I won't be able to answer it properly. Jacqueline, I'm guessing, I don't think we've ever talked before, but maybe if you look at the link in the description and you want to do a 15-minute consult and maybe clarify the question, or maybe you'll re-ask it and I can understand it better if I don't miss it, then yeah. Because you're feeling guilty for wanting to lose the last 15 to 20 pounds. I'm sorry. I wish I understood the question better, because yeah, I wanted to lose the last 15 to 20 pounds. I wanted to lose the last 5 to 10 pounds, but I didn't experience guilt. So I guess in that way I can answer that part of the question, but I wish I understood it better, because I'm just not sure where the guilt is coming from. SAC accountant. Hi, SAC accountant. I got 2 weeks before my vacation to the Philippines. I love that you're going to the Philippines. How much weight do you realistically think I can drop if I implement fasting? I've done OMAD before, 200 pounds. SAC accountant, these questions, a lot of these questions that some of you ask, I feel like are very, very dependent on the person. SAC accountant, yeah, you're 200 pounds, but I don't know how tall you are. I also don't know what realistically, how long you fast for, right? I don't know what you think you can fast, or I don't know what you realistically think you can fast for. You have 2 weeks before a vacation. So could you fast for 2 weeks straight? Maybe. But I also don't know what type of, I guess what I'm trying to say is there are too many variables. If you fast for 3 days, I don't know what your refeeds are like. If you were to fast for 14 days, my guess is you would probably lose at least 14 pounds. But I don't know that for sure. I'm going to say this, and this is probably not going to be what you want to hear, but this type of thinking of like, hey, I have X amount of time before a vacation, I have X amount of time before my birthday. I think these are all things that we all think about, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when we start thinking this way, I think we're setting ourselves up for these situations where we're trying to do these super long fasts. We're trying to lose a ton of weight, and we're not being realistic with our expectations. And I know you're saying how much weight you realistically think you can drop, but what if you just put yourself on this journey of, okay, these next 2 weeks, I'm going to fast and I'm going to see how long I can go. Maybe it's going to be an OMAD. Maybe it's going to be 36 hours. But whatever it is, maybe I should just start practicing imperfect consistency. Maybe I should just implement a fast, see how long I can go for, refeed, and then go again. And then while you're on vacation, enjoy your vacation, but maybe hit the timer so you can start logging how long you're fasting for, how long you're refeeding for, and maybe that helps you be a little more mindful in what you're doing on vacation. I mean, I did answer your question. Realistically, maybe 14 pounds if you fasted for 14 days, maybe more than that if you're 200 pounds and you're 5'3" like me. If you're shorter like me, maybe you'll lose the weight quicker. But if you were 200 pounds and you were 5'10", it probably won't be as much. Too many variables, SAC accountant. But I appreciate the question. Hopefully I was able to answer it in a way that made some sense. Chevy asks, do you think fasting helps in dating? In what way? Are you saying that it's hard to date when you're fasting? Because if that's the case and you're dating, then maybe what you need to do is, if you're going out on a date, is time your dates when you can refeed, or be open about that you're fasting and maybe you do something that isn't food related. I'm not really sure if I'm answering the question in what context you're asking it in, Chevy, but thank you for the question. Steven, thank you for that. I mean, I haven't really thought, I don't really care so much. Sometimes I do, but I'll take a look at that. Over-the-counter hair thickener, if that's something you care about. I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. All in her movements asks thoughts on weighing in every day. I weigh in every day. This can be triggering for some other people. This is where I will say again, it's going to be different for everyone. My thoughts are, I weigh in every day because it's data for me. It's a way that I can see how much weight I gain after a refeed. It is data for me to see how much weight I lose after fasting for 65 hours or fasting for 90 hours. I look at it as nothing but insight. Yes, the scale can be awful for a lot of people. The scale can be detrimental for other people. The scale can be scary for other people. There are some people who will look at the scale, they don't like what it says, and then the next action performed, when I say next action, I'm talking about eat or not eat, fast or don't fast. If you look at the scale and you don't like what it says, and your next action is based on what the scale says, my recommendation is don't be stepping on that scale that often. If you are basing whether you eat or not eat based on what the scale says, you're setting yourself up for failure. When I gained 21 pounds in 10 days because I went on vacation, if my action was to look at, how can I say this? I did go on 10 days vacation. When I went on my 10-day vacation and I gained 21 pounds in 10 days, and I stepped on that scale and I saw that I gained 21 pounds in 10 days, and I said, fuck, what's the point of fasting? If I'm just going to gain 21 pounds in 10 days, I'm going to stop fasting. I'm going to eat. If that is what happened, if that's what happens to you when you step on the scale and you get discouraged by it, my recommendation is don't step on the scale. Because what I did is, after I gained 21 pounds in 10 days, not only did I document it and post it on YouTube so you could all see what it looked like, but I kept fasting. I trusted the process, and I started performing 65-hour fasts over and over and over. Just like here, I did 15 65-hour fasts, and the weight kept dropping, and it kept dropping. The very first fast I did, I lost over 10 pounds. In 53 hours, I believe it was, I lost 10 pounds from the 21 pounds I gained. I look at the data on the scale. I look at the weight on the scale as data. I don't let that deter me from my fasting regimen. I don't look at it as, okay, now I'm going to eat more because I don't like what the weight on the scale says. That is a very hard thing to move away from. And maybe what I just need to do is keep repeating how important it is to not do something like that. Sheil became a new YouTube member. Sheil is now part of the Finally Fasting fam. Sheil, thank you for the support. Thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. People who are part of the Finally Fasting fam, can we please throw some F's up for Sheil? Sheil, thank you for being part of the Finally Fasting fam. I'm not sure if you're in the OMAD tier or the autophagy tier, but if you're in the autophagy tier, I will see you on Wednesday's live stream. But thank you. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you, Sheil. All right, let me scroll back up. I am now not sure where I'm at because now I've lost my place. Oh, there we are. Okay, I think I found it. Heather asks, did you have insomnia when you first started fasting? I didn't. I know some people have talked about insomnia or trouble sleeping, but I haven't had that issue. I also, when I do go to sleep, I have a very regimented way of doing it. I turn all the lights off. I keep my place super cold. I don't bring my phone in bed with me. I try to sleep at the same time and wake up at the same time every day. So that's been very helpful in my sleep routine. Heather, maybe it's something that you can start doing, but you'll have to keep me posted. Other people in chat, if you've dealt with this before, please feel free to share. Please feel free to help Heather out here. Diego asks, is it normal to stay at the same weight during a 72-hour fast? Diego, I've done 15, 16, 65-hour fasts in a row, and at times I gained weight. And it's because I eat a lot. So if your weight is staying the same after a 72-hour fast, there are too many questions to ask here. Is this the first 72-hour fast you've done? What was your refeed like before you started the 72-hour fast? So many things can be very dependent. How much water are you drinking? Maybe you're just holding water. Maybe you're retaining water. I don't know if it's normal to stay at the same weight, but for me, doing 65-hour fasts, which are very similar to which is very similar to 72, doing 65-hour fasts, my weight barely drops, but that's because I eat a lot. So too many questions to ask when it comes to that. SAC accountant, how do I get a 15-minute consultation with you? I need to lose weight as soon as possible. SAC accountant, go to the link in my description. You can click that link. There is a place to sign up for a 15-minute consultation. Here's the thing. I don't think a 15-minute consultation is going to fix what you need. It also sounds like you're very desperate to lose the weight. And I'm telling you, SAC accountant, I mean, I understand there's desperation behind this, but I'm going to tell you right now that losing weight this way, there's a lot to learn. So I'm willing to help you and I'm willing to help anyone get to their goal weights, but I want people to know that there's also some type of realistic expectation that you should hold yourself accountable to. But right, I know you want to lose the weight as soon as possible, but I also want people to understand that this isn't just about losing weight. This is about changing your habits. This is about changing those bad habits into something better. But we can talk about that if you go ahead and sign up for a 15-minute consult. I'm scrolling down here, so give me a second. If you see me looking this way, it's because I'm looking for questions. I'm just looking for question marks. Jose Mama says 130 is low already. Are you talking to me? You're losing muscle at this point. How do you know I'm losing muscle? Did you check? Did you check that I was losing muscle? Are you there? Are you here when I'm losing weight? Do you know? When I go to the gym and I'm lifting heavier than last time, is that me losing muscle? Or are you just assuming because you know so much about me? I cannot stand these kind of things because this is the stuff where I don't like to judge people. Also, I've been doing this for 7.5 months. If I was losing muscle at this point, I don't think my shoulders would be as broad as they are now. I don't think the muscles in my legs would be as defined as they are now. How do you know? You don't know me. You don't see me at the gym. You don't see the way I lift weights. So how would you know? You don't know I'm losing muscle at this point. You don't know what my journey is like. So please, like, keep it to yourself if that's what you're thinking, because I don't know you. I can't judge you in that way. I can only go off of what I'm doing. If I'm lifting heavier than last time, I know I'm doing something right. When I went on these 90-hour fasts and I was still lifting at the gym, I know I was helping myself. There's always this. It's just very hard for me to see stuff like that because it's ignorant. It's very ignorant because you don't know. You don't. I'm also 5'3", right? The average weight for someone 5'3" is probably even less than the 137 to 143 I'm aiming at. But I keep it there because I'm hoping that I can continue to lean out and continue to build muscle. Okay, moving on. Yeah, Jose, you no. Like at this point, I'm if you're gonna keep up with the ignorance and I probably won't see you here much longer. Just FYI. All right, scrolling down. Oh my God, I'm looking at these comments and I can't. Oh my God. Yeah, I said it. Says, did your fasting journey suppress your previous diabetes issue? And are you healed from that now? Yes. My fasting blood sugars are normal. My blood glucose numbers are normal. I do need to go to the doctor and get a proper A1C done. But in the mornings when I check my blood sugar, they're somewhere between 65 and 75. Sometimes they're a little higher. Sometimes they're a little lower. Sometimes they're in the high 50s, but that's where I'm at. So yes, it has reversed itself. Christ risen, amen. How long should we fast? As long as you can for healthily is my answer. It's going to be dependent for everyone. There is no one right answer when it comes to that. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Not you, Jerome. He was talking to me, Jack. Jose, Mama, I'm so sorry. I get so heated sometimes. I'm so sorry. This guy is sensitive. Jeez, I am. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, triggered. I'm definitely, I take all the blame for that. I'm like, I feel myself getting red. I'm not. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I feel so stupid now. Oh God. Okay. He was talking to me. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. Flagrant foul on Jerome. Yes. Oh my God. I feel so embarrassed. Oh man. Jerome is raging like the cashew Wagyu steak night. Oh, okay. Oh my God. I'm like sweating. I'm so embarrassed. What was your blood pressure when it was high? James, I'm not exactly sure what it was at, but oh man, how can I share this with you all? Oh man, I'm so embarrassed. Jose, Jose, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Oh, Jesus, guy is sensitive. I am. For some reason, when people just like, there are certain things that just get to me. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone. James Robinson, I'm going to say this. What was my blood pressure like when it was high? I'll tell you this. I have gone to the doctor and my blood pressure was so high that they had to put me on a what is it when they put all those things on your chest and check your heart? That's how high it was. It was alarmingly high that they had to do that. And this is going to be embarrassing to admit, but they've done that more than once to me. That's how bad my blood pressure was. That's how bad it was. I wasn't checking my blood sugars. But yeah, it's been absurdly high. And that's when the doctors were very concerned, and they're like, Jerome, you have to take your blood pressure meds, because there were times that I wasn't doing it. I wasn't taking anything because I wasn't taking care of myself, because I was just consistently binging night after night after night. I forgot about that too, to share that. Okay. Scrolling down. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Christ Risen says, so you fast for 65 hours and then eat and then fast again for 65 hours. Yes, that's what I'm doing right now to maintain my weight. But before that, I was fasting for 90-ish hours and then eating for 4 hours and then fasting again for about 90-ish hours. Christ Risen, amen. My suggestion, my recommendation to you is to not imitate me, but to find a fasting protocol that works for you. If you want to book some time, there is a link in my description to book some time with me, and maybe we can talk it through in the short amount of time, but maybe if that's helpful, I can help you out. I'm still laughing at this. Sherry with a $5 super chat. Sherry, thank you again for the $5 donation. You're too funny. Please, everyone, ketosis protects muscles and is great for 812. Sherry, thank you for the $5 donation. Oh, God, I have egg on my face because I just, yeah. Sorry, everyone. Okay. I think that's it, right? I think I've answered everything here. I think everyone asked. Tabitha, hi Tabitha, says, I want to start, but I don't know when. Why don't you start now? Why couldn't you start fasting now? Why not do a 16-hour fast? If you've never fasted before and you don't have any experience under your belt, just like Christ Risen is saying, why not do an 18-hour fast? Why not do a 23-hour fast? And if you can't get to that fast, if you can't get to that fasting number, why not hit the fasting timer, start fasting again after that, and see how long you go again. Start building your fasting muscle, start building fasting experience, and get that fasting experience under your belt. Does that sound reasonable? There are other ways of going about this too, but if you'd like to, Tabitha, you can check the link in my description if you want to sign up for a free 15-minute consultation, and we can talk. I can help answer questions if you have questions to ask. Okay. SAC accountant, you're 5'6". I gotcha. I'm a Spike. Okay. I'm so sorry. Jose. Okay. At this point, I want to say a couple final things here. I want all of us to remember that the weight on the scale does not define you. Your worth has so much value in it, whether you are 100 pounds overweight, whether you're 50 pounds overweight, whether you're 10 pounds overweight. The weight on the scale doesn't define you. I want all of us to remember that we still have value in our worth. I think so many of us look at the weight on the scale and we think that that should determine how people treat us. And I get it. Societal norms, it's a bitch. People look at us and treat us differently, maybe based on the way we look or what our weight is or whatever. But I also know that if I was talking to all of you right now at 220 pounds, I think a lot of you would still respect me for who I am and understand that I'm going through some shit and I'm just trying to work my shit out. So I want you to give yourself some grace too when it comes to where you're at right now. And I want you to understand that your journey can only progress as you learn about yourself and what your next steps are. I want all of us to remember to respect ourselves, accept ourselves, and love ourselves for who we are today, because I do think that will not only help us on our journey, but it will help us find some success. It'll help us realize that it doesn't matter what weight we are. We're all just trying to be happier and healthier and figure out what our next steps are. LockPay with a $20 donation. LockPay1, thank you so much for the generous donation. There's no super chat under this either. So thank you so much. LockPay, thank you so much for the generous donation. I don't think I've seen you super chat here before, so I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for the generous support. Okay, and Andre as well. Andre with a $10 donation. Andre, thank you so much. J-Man, you're still my protein bar brother. Yes, we are protein bar brothers. I think, did I have two of them yesterday? I think I had two of them yesterday. I don't think I had more than two yesterday. But yes, we're Builder Bar Brothers. Andre, thank you for the $10 donation. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Respect yourself, accept yourself, love yourself. I do think these are very important things that we need to remind ourselves as we're on this journey. This journey is not just about losing weight. This journey is not just about how long you can fast. This journey is about finding yourself, finding happiness and healthiness in places that maybe you haven't looked for before, finding these things through imperfect consistency, finding these things through support in the chat, finding these things through being active in chat and sharing your story and being vulnerable and showing up and being transparent and being accountable. These are things that I'll tell you right now, I don't know if there are other communities that talk and share and go about this in this type of way, that talk about imperfect consistency, that talk about it isn't just 3 steps. Do these 3 easy steps to lose weight. Because sure, you want to lose weight? Fast, don't eat. How do I lose the most weight, Jerome? Don't fucking eat. Yeah, you're going to lose weight that way. But you and I both know it's so much more than that. You and I both know, especially when it comes to eating issues, that it's so much in here. And if you don't fix what's in here, you are going to have such a hard time to not only lose the weight, but to keep it off. I think I missed something here. LockPay put in chat here. LockPay, I figured maybe you had missed putting something in text. Thanks, Jerome. You've been helping me through my fasting journey. What you've been doing is truly a blessing. Thank you, LockPay. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support. I appreciate that I can be motivating and inspiring in that way. So thank you so much, LockPay. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Before we close this, I want to remind everyone that you are not alone in your fasting journey. Look at the chat right now. Look at how much we're showing up to support each other. Look at how when Jacqueline asks a question, Jose is there to save the day and help in the most helpful way possible. And some asshole isn't here to be offended thinking it's all about him. You're not alone in this journey. I'm 20 hours in this journey right now. If you're thinking that you can't do this, that you're having a difficult time, I want you to remember that you're not alone. I have been doing this for over, well, today is 7.5 months. I've been doing this for 7.5 months. And I have no signs of slowing down when it comes to my fasting journey. I will always be fasting in some form or fashion because I have to do it. It is just going to be part of my life. I have accepted that as fact. And maybe I won't do 65-hour fasts forever, but I'm still doing it right now. And I just need to continue to do it and figure out what my next steps are. And whether that means I'm going to be doing this forever, I can live with that too. I'm okay with that. But you're not alone. If you think that you can't do it, if you think you're the only person in the world that is struggling, that you're the only person in the world that's fasting, I've been doing it for 7.5 months. I've been performing rolling fasts for 7.5 months. I don't know if any, I mean, and I'm sure there are probably people who have been doing it for just as long, if not longer, or have found fasting and been doing it, performing it in a way that's been helpful for them. But I know rolling fasts aren't easy, especially at the lengths that I've been doing it at. But I know that success can be found if you practice imperfect consistency. That'll be it. That's it for the stream tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank everybody for showing up in chat, helping everyone out. All the donations today. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the new members of the Finally Fasting fam. For those that became new members, I'll see you on Wednesday on the autophagy stream. That's probably all I got. So I appreciate you all. I'll see you again next Sunday. I'll have videos in between that time because I need to show up and be accountable. I need to show that I am always here and I'm always on this journey. And I'm going to wave goodbye at this time. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.